Just because we got the same skin color don't mean we the same people. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because all the people
you talking what? From what tribe or what you talking about?
Race, color, our skin color does not define our race, is what I'm saying. Our race is defined by our history.
Right.
Read that, Joel 3. What you just said, black people sold black people, which is true. I'm going to show you that. Read.
Joel chapter 3, verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people.
It said they have cast lots for my people. Read.
And have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink.
So what Joel is going over here, he's going over the prophecy that the Lord said was going to happen to us in the end. So in verse 2, he said he was going to gather all the nations that sold us to different countries for wine, for women, for whatever they wanted to, right? Read.
Yeah, and what have ye do with me, O Tyre and Zidon?
So he's asking the question, what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon? Tyre and Zidon are African nations. They are black people. Read.
And all the coast of Palestine.
Now Palestine would be the Arabs. Because y'all may or may not be familiar with the sub-Sahara slave trade, where the Arabs had us captives at one point in time. So he's asking the Africans and the Arab, what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and you Arabs that sold my people? Read.
Will ye render me a recompense?
So he's asking, how y'all gonna repay me for what y'all did to me? Y'all took my precious people, the people that he chose above all race of people, and y'all sold them, and y'all beat them, and y'all raped them, and y'all robbed them. Y'all took all their riches, y'all destroyed the temple and everything. How y'all gonna repay me back for what y'all did to me? Read.
And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things.
So he's showing what the Arabs and the Africans did to us. They took our temple, they took all of our gold out of the temple, they took all of our images, they took it from our temple and put it in their temple. Read.
The children also of Judah.
The children of Judah, which will be the first three. Read.
And the children of Jerusalem.
And that will be the last 9. Read.
Have you sold unto the Grecians?
So we said the Africans and the Arabs sold us to the Greeks, which would be who? What race of people are the Greeks? No, the Greeks. The Grecians. Which would be who? The white people, right? The European. He said the Arabs and the Africans, which are black people, you sold my people to the Grecians. We are God's people. They sold us to the white man. Now let's define who are God's people. Give me Exodus 11 and 7 before we go there. Because like I said, a lot of people think that, and that's taught in history, that black people sold black people. And that statement is not true, but they don't clarify what they mean by black. Just because we black don't mean we are the same people. Right.
Exodus chapter 11 verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord don't put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
So the Lord put a difference between the Egyptians, which are black people, and the Israelites, which are also black people. And we're not saying that all these people on this side are black, because we know the Mexicans are light-skinned. We know that some of the Native American Indians are light-skinned. Some of these people damn near look white. But how we're able to identify who they are is by the curses in the Bible. That's how we identify who we are as a race of people. Now, let's show you who the Hamites are in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Because not only is this statement true in the Bible, there are white scholars who've done the research and put this information together. They know what we don't know. They know that just because we call ourselves black, we're not the same people. Read that.
Ham.
It's that Ham. Now Ham was, who was Ham? Do you know who Ham was? Y'all, you know about Noah?
Yeah.
He was one of the sons of Noah, right?
Yeah.
So Noah had 3 sons.
Levi, Ham.
No.
Oh no.
Ham,
and
Shem, and Japheth.
Gotcha.
Those were Noah's 3 sons. After the flood, Noah, his 3 sons, and their wives were the ones who populated the whole earth, right? Gotcha. So we all can say we come from those 3 races of people. Now we're gonna define who Ham was in the Bible. Read.
Gotcha.
Ham, the youngest son of Noah.
So Ham was the youngest son of Noah. Read.
Born probably about 96 years before the flood. and one of 8 persons of lived through the flood.
So he was one of 8 people that lived to the flood. Like most people think that Noah and his 3 sons were the only one that made it through. But Noah, his sons, and their wives were the ones that came through because they had to repopulate the earth. So Ham was the youngest son. Read.
He became the progenitor.
The who?
The progenitor.
The progenitor.
The progenitor of the dark races.
So progenitor means father. So it said Ham became the father of the dark races. But let's find out what dark races. Read.
Not the Negroes.
Not who?
Not the Negroes.
So Ham was not the father of the Negroes, who we will call Negroes in America, right? Read.
But the Egyptians.
But who?
But the Egyptians. Ethiopians. Libyans. And Canaanites. His indice, when his father lay drunken, brought a curse upon Canaan. So
Ham was the father of the Egyptians, the Libyans, the Canaanites. He was the father of the African people, which in today's time would be the Watusis and the Sudanese. So what my statement was, the reason why I read that, just because we had the same skin color, don't mean that we the same people. So your statement is true. Black people did sell black people, but those black people that sold us were not of our race.
That's right.
They were of another race. Huh?
It was them that he named out?
Yeah, it was the Egyptians, the Canaanites, all of those people, right? So, and I asked that question was, yes, it was them. We not the same people. The children of Israel and the children of Ham were 2 different races of people. So I asked that question was, what was my original question? How do we fix some of the issues in our community? Because it's apparent that we have them, but before we do that, we got to remember who we are as a nation of people. That's why I said that. 1 Kings 8. 1 Kings 8. Because you said that the reason why we kill each other, why did you say we kill each other? Violence. You said it was the violence, right? And I asked you, okay, what causes the violence, right? This is how we gonna fix the issue.
Well, it's something simple like domestic. Like I said, shit can happen right there at the stoplight, like I said.
Right, but those things we can't control, right?
Right.
But what can we control?
It's just knowing that how to get along and be structured together. Right. Will stop.
But in order for us to get along, we have to what defines how we should get along?
I don't know that.
Okay, I'm gonna read it to you. Read that.
1 Kings chapter 8, verse 46.
I don't know that part.
Verse 47. Yet if they shall bethink themselves.
So the Lord said we gotta bethink ourselves. We've been calling ourselves African American, Negro, Black for decades, for centuries now, right? Not African American, but we've been calling ourselves different names for centuries now. The Lord said we gotta bethink ourselves. What does it mean to bethink ourselves? Meaning we have to remember who we are. Right. We can only remember who we are if we go back to the source. The source is right here. God never called us African American, Black, or Negro. Right. He called us the children of Israel. Now, if God called us the children of Israel, how should we be conducting ourselves today? Keep reading.
In the land whither they were carried captive, and repent and make supplication unto thee in the land of them.
So the first thing you said we got to do is to bethink ourselves. So we got to remember who we are or who we were as a nation of people. When did we lose our nationality as a nation of people? When did we begin to call ourselves African Americans? Psalms 106:35. When did we begin to call ourselves Negroes or Blacks or colors? When did that happen? When we what? When we became slaves. When we got brought to this side of the world, that's when we lost our identity as a nation of people. So we gotta go back to before we were slaves. Read that.
Psalms chapter 106, verse 35. But were mingled among the heathens and learned their works.
So what happened? When they brought us over here on them slave ships, we assimilated into their culture. We were mingled among them. We learned their words. Like today, we celebrate Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's. We celebrate our birthday. Right. What are some of the ways? How are some of the ways that we eat today? What are some of the foods that we eat today? Pork. That was the first thing that came to your mind. We eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. How do we treat each other today? Do we treat each other with respect and honor and glory? No. What the black men doing to each other? They killing each other. What are we doing to our black women? When we lay down with them, are we taking care of them children? Are we laying down with them, putting babies in them, and we go on to the next? That's what we doing to each other. We don't have any civility amongst each other. We don't have a culture to where we think about the things that we're eating. We don't have a way that we treat each other. We don't have a way that we dress. We don't have holidays we celebrate. Because everything that we've learned was taught to us where? In America or wherever we are scattered. Read that again.
But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works.
So whenever we went into slaves as people, right? We were mingled among the heathen and we learned their works. Everything that we're doing today, we didn't come up with this on our own. We got it from the same people that put us in slavery. So how do we fix this issue? We got to go back to where it all originated. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Read that. So Moses told the children of Israel, if they didn't keep God's commandments, that curses was going to come upon them. Would y'all say we curse today? You would agree that we curse today, right? Think about some of the things that happen in our community.
According to that, yeah.
I mean, even not according to this. I mean, even before I understood the Bible, I always felt like something wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that we kill each other. Baby, my daddy had about 4 baby mamas. You know what I'm saying? It was always drama. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said He called us to peace. Why we got so much drama going on around here? You know what I'm saying? I knew that wasn't right. But because it was an example I seen, what did I grow up doing? I grew up doing the same thing. So we can know something that's not right, but if we don't have the examples to follow after, what are we going to do? We're going to follow in them same footsteps. Which is why we got to come back to the source. This is what Moses told us. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all His commandments and His statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So in verse 15, he told us, look, if y'all don't listen to God and keep His commandments that He gave to y'all, that He gave to me for me to give to y'all, then all these curses are going to come upon y'all. In verse 1, he said, look, if y'all listen to the commandments that God gave y'all, y'all going to be blessed. Y'all going to be above all nations of people. Y'all ain't going to never have to work for nothing. People going to pay y'all taxes. Y'all not going to have to go to work. People going to work and they going to bring the money to y'all. Y'all kids ain't going to have to work. Y'all feet ain't going to touch the ground. He told us if we listen to Him, the condition that the white people are in today, we will be in their position. What's crazy about that? We went to North Carolina a couple weeks ago. It went to Georgia a couple weeks ago, right? And when we came back, we went through. Y'all ever been to Ross Bridge? Over there, it's in Bessemer. Over there in Bessemer, they got a place called Ross Bridge over there, right? White people stay over there, right? 10 o'clock at night, you got kids on golf carts riding through the city. They got stores in the neighborhood. They was popping fireworks like it was a community of people. Like, how can they do that? What we seen then was how we're supposed to be living. But why are we not living that way? Because we have not followed God's commandments. And that's the ultimatum that Moses gave us. If we keep His commandments, we bless. If we disobey His commandments, we curse. And y'all agree today that we are cursed people, right? So what are some of the things that we should be doing to reverse the curse?
Man, that's a great question. All I'm gonna say, I mean, it just goes back to what I was saying, man. I mean, like, we all here, bro. Everybody, me, them, everybody. So it kind of starts there for me.
Right.
Now, yes, from that point, yes, get involved. You know, we can learn that, but it takes this, if anything, man, to get on with your life and your endeavors.
But my question is, what about after this? Because right now, you said it take this, and right now we're doing that. What you said it take, right? But then what about after this? When you leave here, how should you be? What are some of the things that you should be doing when you leave here to continue this? Because this is not gonna last, and probably about 15, 20 minutes, this is gonna be over. Our conversation is gonna be over. So when you leave here, what are you gonna do next? That's the question that I'm asking.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Huh?
You gotta change somebody.
How? What does that look like? If I was a child and you had to explain to me that what I was doing was not right, how could you show me what I was doing was not right and then guide me in the right direction? How could you do that? Because you said we got to change some of our ways. What are some of the ways that need to be changed?
Well, we gotta come together as people, huh?
Yeah, but when we come together, okay, if I smoke weed, he do cocaine, you know what I'm saying? He like to play with women, he like to play with little girls, and we come together, what do we got? We got a cesspool of wickedness. Still again, right? You got a person that like to smoke weed, cocaine.
Right?
We got it. This has to be the foundation.
Is that what you saying?
And I'm gonna show you what I mean by that, because I asked you a question. When we leave here, how can you? I'm gonna show you a way that you can be better going forward. Give me Exodus 20 and 8. Exodus 20, because we talk about it a lot, but then a lot of times there is no application to what can we do.
Gotta apply.
What we gotta realize first, bro, our whole purpose of being out here is these people on this sign right here. These are the people that this Bible is for. We had this Bible in the houses and on the dashboard, in the church. We've been going to church all our lives, and it never has been read to us or told to us that we are the people of God. They say that we the Gentiles. They don't identify us with the people of God, but we showing you out of the Bible that the reason why slavery happened to us, the reason why we oppressed, the reason why we get shot down in the streets is because God chose us. And the reason why he's allowing this to happen is because we're not being obedient to him.
Right.
You got parents, right? What happens when you get out of line with your parents? What do? They punish you. Why did they punish you? Because they hated you?
The X generation did that.
I mean, the X generation did it, but who failed them though? We failed them. You failed them. Because although they probably knew it was wrong, if they see you walking in that direction, what they gonna do? They gonna follow after. Because we are people of example. We follow examples, not necessarily what you say, but if we see you doing the opposite of what you tell us to do, what we gonna do? We gonna follow after what you're doing. That's the least path of resistance. So we gotta come back here. Read that.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy.
So one of the commandments that Moses gave to the children of Israel, he told us to remember the Sabbath day. Why did he have to tell us to remember? Because at this point in time, we kept the Sabbath day. We just came out of Egypt, he just freed us, he just destroyed the Egyptians. But right now he's telling us to remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Read.
Verse 9, 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
So he told us to remember for today's time. It's our responsibility as men to come back to the commandments of God.
Right.
But if we don't know the commandments or they're not being taught, how can we come back to them? What church y'all go to teach the commandments? You been to church? You go to church? Every now and then you go. What day you go on? You're supposed to go on Saturday, but you go on Sunday, right? What day you go to church on?
Nah, it's been a minute, man.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, I'm
when
new,
you was in church,
I'm new to the area anyway.
When you was in church, did the pastor teach y'all any commandments in the church? No commandments at all, right? If that's supposed to be a place you go to for salvation, why are the commandments of God not being taught in the church?
Right.
Because the church is not the place where you get salvation from.
That's right.
The church is the place where you get damnation from. And that's why you see so many churches set up on we got so many churches in probably within a mile's radius. It's ridiculous. If you drive down this strip right now, you're going to see church after church after church. But none of them are teaching the commandments. A lot of the wickedness goes on in the church.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Read it again.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
So why are we reading this? Because we have to learn how to keep the Sabbath day. But TJ, I'm gonna show you how to keep the Sabbath day. So going forward, if you want change in your community, who would start with?
Us.
Change start with who?
Yourself.
It start with you first. So you gotta apply these laws to your life if you want to see the change. Because what I said, people follow what you do and not what you say. So when people see you moving differently when it comes to how you govern your life, they gonna be like, damn, why TJ doing? TJ used to be out here, you know what I'm saying, at the store. He used to be out here kicking with us. We don't see him on Saturday no more. Where he at? Then you be able to tell him, you know what, bro?
Right.
I ain't out on Sabbath no more. I'm keeping the Sabbath day holy. I ain't eating pork no more, bro.
So
come on over to the house for Thanksgiving. No, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving. But why you don't celebrate Thanksgiving? Because that's the white man's holiday. We ain't supposed to be celebrating that. Come on, eat this pork. I don't eat pork, mom. Why you don't eat pork? Because God said we can't eat pork. See what I'm saying? So people start to inquire. You know what I'm saying? When you start moving different.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family.